All right, Sako and Alex here from NeverBoard Gaming, bringing you another match from our modern MTG Wednesdays. This one's going to be HootyHoo on Affinity versus Marino's Jeskai Control.
I have never seen Anthony Marino pilot Jeskai Control before. We'll see what he does with it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him pilot a control deck, actually, at that.
Oh, Control decks I've seen him pilot before.
Okay.
In Standard, before Rebels of Ixalan came out, he was on Blue-White Approach pretty much every week.
Okay.
And just dominated Colossal Comics, back when Colossal Comics was a thing.
Man, yeah. Approach is tough to deal with, but now Jeskai is probably going to be one of the beneficiaries of Jace, right?
Yeah, this is one of the very obvious decks that benefited from the Jace the Mind Sculptor unban. So we could see him here, but in the past, Jeskai Control decks didn't really have that much room for any permanent spells. They cut themselves down to like one Nahiri, if that, as far as Planeswalkers go. They don't even run Gideon, it's just the blue-white decks that run Gideon.
I see. Oh man, big opening solid here for Affinity.
Ooh, Springleaf Drum into 2 Cheerios, into Signal Pest. This is great. This is one of the best starts Affinity can get.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So
Playing-
Jeskai's main strategy is going to be to win with Emrakul, right?
In the past it was, but nowadays not so much. Nowadays just kind of trying to chip in with burn spells and Snapcaster Mage. Maybe you have Vidillion Click in there, Cranial Plating coming down on Bobby's side of the table.
And those are all the cards you want to see as an Affinity player.
Mm-hmm. He can equip it by tapping the Springleaf Drum. The question is, where's it going? Probably going to go on... Oh, the Midnight. I thought for sure he'd put it on the Single Pass, but he's going to put it on the Midnight. And here comes Snapcaster to chump block the Midnight. This is why you put it on the Single Pass, folks. That was a mistake. Big, big mistake. Snapcaster coming in, saving Marino's life. It does not...
realization is...
Yeah, he does not realize that no matter how big that Midnight is, it's going to die. Snapcaster Mage playing the role of removal spell.
Yeah, very interesting usage of them. Don't see it every day.
This is why you got to put it on the one that can't be blocked. So that's a Search for His Kanta coming down on Marino's side of the table. This is what really put Jeskai Control back on the map, is the printing of Search for His Kanta.
Yeah, such a powerful card, impactful in, I believe, every format, maybe even Vintage.
I don't know about Vintage. That's probably way, way, way too slow for Vintage.
Yeah, you're right. Well, at least I've seen it in Legacy West, that's for sure.
Have you? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I know it's played most in Standard and Modern. Oh, what's coming down here? Another Springleaf Drum? No, another Signal Pest. Bobby's just the king of finding Signal Pests from out of nowhere
They love him.
this tournament. He's going to tap this one to Springleaf Drum.
Yeah. Kind of perplexing to not give the plating to the Pest. This time the plating is going to be on the Ornithopter here. So deciding to fly overhead. Ooh, there's a Lightning Helix in Marino's hand here. Not quite live yet. It doesn't have the white mana available.
Did he give you back your deck?
Yeah, HootyHoo checking in on the mic for a second. We're watching one of his matches right now.
So sorry.
It's all right.
I'm so sorry. Come on.
Yeah, I just got a really weird alert on my phone. I apologize for that.
No worries.
I just dismissed it like I don't know what you are. Half the time I don't know what my phone's doing.
A beige alert. I haven't heard of that one before. They say it's nothing to be alarmed about.
It's nothing to be alarmed about, just somebody walking down the street wearing beige. Etched Champion. Does Marino have the counterspell for this? No, he does not.
Oh, he's going to fetch.
Practice Scalding Tarn for a shock, so he's going to be taking 3 no matter what. Already the Affinity deck doing work. That's one way to deal damage. That's the point of the deck.
Truly. Goes for the
Sacred
red-white.
Foundry.
So that alone is not going to give him access to Lightning Helix in his hand. But
No, but it will give him access to Bolt and give him a white source, which he did not have before.
And here it comes. Or not.
Oh, Path to Exile.
Man, and that cranial plating is just falling onto the floor for the second time.
I think Affinity plays like maybe 2 basic islands.
Yeah, just for the thought cast.
Yeah. I think that's its only basics.
As a Merfolk player, I love it.
Yeah, get that island up there.
Spreading
Make my
seas
guys
yourself.
unblockable.
Alright, and the removal doing a pretty good job here at putting Affinity at bay, although still going down to 11 life since he had to take all this damage from getting his colors in order.
And now with that Etch Champion on the table, Marino will need a Supreme Verdict to remove it.
Another fetch.
He might have the mana for it now.
Another.
Yes, he does, because he's going to get a Hallowed Fountain here probably. Since he got a Shockland, brought himself down to 8. Just depends on which one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Hallowed Fountain. Yes, it is. It had to be a white one anyway.
Say goodbye to all your creatures. The momentum is starting to shift back into the control deck's favor here. No board
But he
save.
flashes the Arcbound Ravager, so he's showing Marino, hey, I do have another creature. I am not done beating you down yet. And a single pest too. He keeps finding these.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So he's got enough to run out the Arcbound Ravager and then equip any of his creatures, and then still one more mana after that off the Springleaf draw. But I think he might have a Thought Cast in his hand and he's thinking about using it.
So only one of those man lands is Infect, right? The other one is...
Yes, Inkmoth is a Infect, and
The other one's
Blinkmoth
just...
is not.
Okay, cool.
Then there's two Blinkmoths on the table, they just have different art.
Oh, I see.
And that was a Vault Scourge that you just played, actually. So he does not have the Thought Cast, but he does have another threat.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, he's going to activate the Blinkmoth Nexus, equip the Cranial Plating to it. So Cranial Plating will count Blinkmoth Nexus in the calculation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was, yeah, that took him to 2. That should have been 6 damage, and it was.
Excellent. Pretty tricky play there, and the cranial plating hitting the floor for the 3rd time, dropping off things. It's very dirty at this point in time.
Sometimes you just have to hook it up to a temporary creature and hope for the best. Marino staring in the face of death at 2 life.
Probably really regretting all of the pain and shock he has to take for completing his land base.
But he does have that 3rd blue source now because he chose to flip over Search for Azcanta into Azcanta the Sunken Ruin. So he can activate the Azcanta the Sunken Ruin if for some reason he's able to stay alive off of 1 mana. But he might need that 3rd blue source for a Cryptic Command to stop himself from dying. There's an Arcbound Ravager.
Oh, and
Counter
he's gonna
tap
be
your
able to
team seems
gain
like a
some
good
life,
play
too.
right now.
He'll gain life off this Lightning Helix, right?
Does he have a Lightning Helix in his
Yeah,
hand?
he does.
Okay, that's very good. He will need that. However, if he targets... Yeah, whatever he targets, as long as it's an artifact, HootyHoo can just sack it to Arcbound Ravager and stop him from getting the life.
You're right.
So
So you don't gain unless it destroys the creature? The
well, that's because the target fizzled.
Makes
So
perfect
the
sense.
entire spell is countered, including the life gain part. Just gonna activate this Blinkmoth Nexus. Crash and bash.
Going deep.
Whatever Lightning Helix targets, HootyHoo just sacrifices. It's gonna be on the Vault Scourge.
Let's see if he has the insight to make the play right here that needs to happen.
He's going to respond.
No.
No, he's not going to go ahead and sacrifice it. He's just going to let it go, not even sacrificing it to the Arcbound Ravager.
Ooh, I'm sure Marino sees that.
Yeah,
This
he's
is a
getting very
desperation
lucky
play.
here. I think HootyHoo's just thinking he's got enough damage regardless, but we'll see. That single pest is going to do no damage. Here comes Nahiri. Ghost Quarter also blew up that Blinkmoth Nexus. Nahiri is going to exile single pest here. That just leaves a Blinkmoth Nexus, 2 Inkmoths, and the Ravager as HootyHoo's only threats. But Marino's sitting at 5 life with, I believe, no cards in hand. There's a Mox Opal. That'll make the cranial plating that much stronger.
It's going to be enough, isn't it? To just
I
slow
think
it down?
that's enough. The question is just, does he see it?
We can see the
Don't-
gears turning in his hands.
Don't be distracted by that Nahiri. Just go after his face, Bobby. You can do it. Oh, he's going to tap the Arcbound Ravager for mana, or no?
Oh, he's
no,
thinking
no,
about
no.
it.
He's thinking it again. Anthony Marino is an intimidating presence sometimes. He is a very good player, so
And on a side note, this is actually Marino's Affinity deck that HootyHoo is using in this event.
he's going to go ahead and equip the plating to the Blinkmoth Nexus. That's going to be way more than enough damage. And there it is, scoop phase. HootyHoo takes game 1.
He gets it 1 turn later than he could have, if we're not incorrect, right?
I believe so. Because all you have to do is sack to that Ravager. And that fizzles the entirety of Lightning Helix, including the life gain. So He probably could have gotten it the previous turn. I think he definitely would have gotten it the previous turn. Marino was at 2, so
Yeah.
I don't see how he doesn't.
You
Even
know,
if you have to sack everything to the Ravager and then load up that one signal pest that got through.
That could have worked. That could have worked. So one thing I noticed when I was looking over some affinity lists, trying to help Bobby build his own, is I came across one that was running in the main board 2 Ensoul artifacts.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a hilariously awesome tech in that deck.
Yeah, usually when you play that, you hook it up to either an Ornithopter or a Darksteel Citadel. So you have an early 5/5 flyer or a 5/5 indestructible creature that's straight up, especially a Darksteel Citadel, because that straight up does not die to Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Supreme Verdict is
Indestructible.
so...
Wait, it keeps the... It's a land still?
Yeah,
And
it's...
indestructible?
Yeah, it's an
5/5?
indestructible 5/5 land.
Wow, okay.
That was a very popular play. There was a deck called Fives in Standard that used to do this, back when Ensoul Artifact first got printed. You'd either enchant it to an Ornithopter or a Darksteel Citadel, and of course, Affinity is playing both of those cards.
That's sick. That's amazing.
It's
That's fun
very,
for
very
this
good
stuff.
tech against Jeskai Control, because that just ruins their Wrath plan, and they need to have Wrath effects to survive.
It's true, that is true. Man, I gotta tell him to get a pair of those walking scissors for his build. Alright, pile shuffle's coming in. Marino wants to make sure he doesn't draw a clunky, like, stack of lands together.
I mean, statistically, he still could.
Yeah.
The only reason you do this is because Jeskai Control usually plays out so many lands at once that it's very easy to get them into clumps. So if you just mass shuffle and you're not very deliberate about it, you could easily just find yourself with more lane clumps than you need. I have had this problem playing control decks before. This is part of why I don't like playing them myself. But
Yeah, they're very finicky with land. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a weird life counter situation here. It's going to be a little hard for the viewers to see on our logo.
it's okay. I think I can keep up. Or we could get rid of the logo.
It's part of the overlay.
That's product placement. We can't get rid of that. We need more product placement.
So what do you think?
Dasani.
Yeah. So since you were familiar with the Jeskai and you piloted it before, do you have any ideas for like sideboard insight? What are some cards it wants to bring in here? Does it
Wear
have
and
Hercules
tear.
Recall?
Wear and tear. Anger of the Gods. If he's got Hercules Recall, that's okay. I never played it in my own Jeskai Control
I guess
sideboard.
Anger of the Guards kind of does the same job for you.
Anger of the Gods does the same job permanently, because they can... Hercules Recall is really just a fog. It's a temporary stopgap measure. They can replay their whole hand almost right away.
Yeah, usually.
Mind you, it does also hit Darksteel Citadels, so...
Ooh,
it's,
that is nice.
So that's not bad, but it's not as valuable as the things that get rid of artifacts permanently. Oh, I also ran a one of Vandal Blast back when I played this
Vandal
thing.
Blast.
Yeah, Vandal Blast is really great, because if you need to cast it for 1 mana, you can. But if you can hold out for that overload and just blow out their whole board, it feels so good.
I bet it does. That's like an insta-win kind of card. Mm-hmm. So it's certainly a table flipper.
HootyHoo leading off with Land Ornithopter Go. Not as great a start as he had last game, but I see a Spellskite in his hand. That'll come in handy.
Truly good sideboard idea there. Marino taught him well. Least explosive opening we've seen so far with this deck.
Fetch with that Flooded Strand into a turn. Stony Silence, another great answer to this deck. That's a nice hoser.
Oh man, that's a tough one to deal with right now.
And now HootyHoo in big trouble, because that Ornithopter is just a paperweight, and so is the Spellskite for that matter.
So Stony Silence is going to prevent equipment from equipping it, doesn't it?
Yes, it stops all equipment. It stops Arcbound Ravager from being able to sacrifice things. It stops Steel Overseer from putting +1/+1 counters on. Really, the only thing it doesn't answer in this deck, there's 2 things it doesn't answer in this deck. Edge Champions, and he might be running Gear Report Ether Grid.
Oh yeah. I
Because
see.
that's an enchantment. Even though it uses artifacts to deal damage, it's an enchantment. Stony Silence does not stop it.
Interesting. Is it? And Stony Silence reads as activated abilities.
Activated abilities of artifacts cannot be activated.
So Signal Pest will still get triggered.
Signal Pest will still work, because that's a triggered ability. But you have to get it onto the table along with cards like Vault Scourge. Vault Scourge is still good. You can still activate the Blink Moth and Ink Moth Nexuses because they're not artifacts initially.
Do they lose Infect? Is Infect a ability? No, that's not activated.
No, it's
yet.
not. It's a static ability. Lightning Bolt going to come down and get rid of this this creature. I believe there was a single pest that just died. So Steel Overseer all on his lonesome as basically a vanilla 1/1 here. the only point of offense that Bobby has. And Marino is not failing to find his mana. I see wear and tear in his hand already. I mentioned that before, but here comes Nahiri, and Nahiri are probably just going to plus here. She's perfectly safe.
Early start. No real sizable damage on board to really threaten her.
+2, don't discard anything. Marino likes his entire hand. Usually not a good sign for the aggro player. And again, just Arcbound Ravager feeling like such a bad card with Stony Silence out there. None of these creatures are large enough to really touch this Nahiri in any significant way. She's just going to laugh off whatever damage he comes at her with.
Ooh, gets told that Stony Silence foils his
Yeah,
plans.
yeah, he did not realize that Stony Silence stopped Steel Overseer from doing that thing. So he's just going to have to... No, he's going to attack Nahiri. He's not going to just pass turn. He's going to attack Nahiri, make sure Nahiri can't get to ultimate that easy. There's Mind Sculptor himself.
The delinquent duo.
The Boogeyman.
Here he comes. So what do you think's the play with him? Just go for the storm right off the bat here and brainstorm yourself? Or?
No. If he likes his hand enough to not want to discard a Nahiri, I think you just Fate Seal. Put the boot on his neck. No, he's going to minus and bounce the Arcbound Ravager. Interesting.
Just trying to keep the pressure off his Nahiri, I guess.
Yes, he is. Nahiri again, +2s. Marino opting not to discard. He still likes his hand.
Oh, Jace. Man, it's such a menacing card to deal with, especially when you don't have any good creatures on board already. It feels like it's impossible to attack at them.
This is one of the optimal board states for Jace the Mind Sculptor to come in on when there's not enough aggro on the table to get rid of him. And especially when he's got a buddy in Nahiri. So if Bobby somehow finds enough damage to start pecking away at these Planeswalkers, he's got to pick and choose which one to deal with.
Truly. So what does Affinity normally prepare some sort of sideboard hate for the enchantments in order to deal with Stony Silence?
Well, it has to, because Stony Silence is played in so many sideboards that they know that it's game over if they're relying entirely on equipment or Arcbound Ravager or Steel Overseer. So they got to have things like Etch Champion and Single Pest and possibly Gear per Ether Grid to get around it.
I see.
So they're going to be relying a lot on that early aggro. I don't know what this confusion here is. I think maybe Bobby was trying to make a play that he's just now realizing he can't actually do because Stony Silence is stopping it. Probably trying to make use of that Ravager. Steel Overseer again coming at Nahiri. That's not going to affect our clock at all right now. I think Jace just -1s again. No, he's going to Fate Seal. Marino says you can have it. That's always the worst outcome. If they say you can have it, that means you're drawing nothing.
Here's another land for you, good sir.
Nahiri going up to 8. Threatening ultimate, forcing Bobby to have to make a play here, but all he finds is another Darksteel Citadel. Of course, Jace would let him have that.
Just like Bobby threw it in his discard pile. Yeah, I don't see him coming through from this one.
Yeah, this looks like it's already game over, and Bobby is just not willing to give up. But, you know, never give up, of course. We have seen many, many times players come back from really bad situations.
Well, that's one way of doing a little bit. Let's see what he has in his hand to combat and protect the dice on his Nahiri.
Both Inkmoth Nexuses and the Steel Overseer coming in, but what are they attacking? The Arcbound Ravager surprisingly staying at home. Even though it is able to attack our block. It is able to attack. It was always able to block, but it is able to attack.
Alright, Marino's still thinking here.
If I were in Bobby's position, I would peck Nahiri down for 1 and then put the Inkmoth Nexus at Marino's face. But it looks like all of those creatures went at Nahiri, so she's going to be taken down to 5 here. And now back up to 7. And now Marino has a thing to discard. He doesn't like that mana leak. He can just replace it with a new card. And then Jace. Go to Fate Seal again.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Jace to the face.
Sends it to the bottom, so Bobby does have a chance to top deck something good. Oh, God, look at Marino's hand. It's so stacked.
Yeah,
He's got a Supreme Verdict. He's got a Wear and Tear. He can do whatever he wants. Wear and Tear is a great answer to that Gearport Ether Grid. And Bobby just finding another land. He is mana flooded. The worst position to be in here.
So what's Wear and Tear?
One half is destroy target artifact. The other half is destroy target enchantment. And you can cast both halves.
Oh, excellent. So it's not one of the graveyard flashback kind of cards.
No, it's not. It's a fuse card. That's Master of Ethereum. That's actually really good here. Stony Silence does nothing about that. That's just a really, really big creature that also pumps his other creatures. That's a very, very good card in this situation. That's going to make Inkmoth Nexus a 2/2 now, as well as a Steel Overseer, both coming in at Nahiri.
I guess Arcbound Ravager just disappeared in his mind.
Yeah, because it's still a creature. He can swing with it if he wants. I don't know why he isn't. There's no reason not to. Maybe he's afraid of Settle the Wreckage. I don't know. I'm not in his head. There's the Wear and Tear. He's only going to use the Wear half, though, because there is no enchantment to target other than his own Stony Silence, and he's not going to get rid of that, of course.
Are you sure?
But down goes Master of Ethereum, and now a Lightning Helix going to hit that Inkmoth Nexus. Only 1 damage coming through. Nahiri will fall to 6.
Poor Ornithopter whiffing. Thought it was going to deal 1 damage.
It had hopes, it had dreams, and they were crushed by Wear and Tear.
A yo-yo on the dice here on Nahiri, just up and down, not able to get it off yet.
She can't get to ultimate, but there goes the Supreme Verdict. Now that modular ability will work if there was an artifact to put that counter on. Unfortunately, Bobby's tapped out. He can't put that counter on the Inkmoth Nexus. And now Jace's Fate Seal, saying you can keep it, always bad.
My goodness, what a menacing board state. I think I would just scoop at this point. What are you going to play?
That's a Springleaf Drum. He's still got an Arcbound Ravager in hand and that Spellskite. He can run out both. He has to use a Springleaf Drum, but he can run out both. Or is he taking back the Springleaf Drum? He's taking back the Springleaf Drum because he wants to activate the Blinkmoth and Inkmoth. Just trying to hold down this Nahiri. He is very, very afraid of the possibility of Emrakul jumping out of Marino's deck.
How close is Jace to ulting right now, too?
I've lost track of how many counters are on him. I can't actually see the number.
I'm surprised he's using 2. It was like a freaking 20-sided die over there. Either way, both Planeswalkers dangerously close to ending this game. Fate seals him one more time. Says that goes on the bottom. No, no, no. I presume he's just trying to throw away all his creatures.
Just make as much use of those creature lands as you can. And now, here he is up to, what, 9 loyalty? Or was that 8 loyalty?
Looks like 9. Oh, no, that's 8. That's 8. So threatening ult, right?
Threatening ult.
But you can't do anything. Keeps taking him down. The 2 he goes up every turn.
Nahiri is never going to ult if Bobby has his way, but Jace just might. There's the Lightning Helix to take care of Blinkmoth.
Alright, so now he is gaining some ground here. Only going to go down 1. Oh, he pops the ult. Bobby about to get a taste of his own medicine. Doesn't even want to see the Emrakul come out. He's like, no, you don't do it to me, Emrakul.
I don't know if he actually has the Emrakul, but he was trying like heck to get, pardon my French, trying like crazy to get this Nahiri down and couldn't quite do it. So 1-1 heading into game 3, but Affinity much better on the play than it is on the draw.
Maybe getting that Spellskite out a little earlier might have helped him.
Yeah.
And that's in the situation, like, could have changed the targets of that Lightning Helix or the Bolt there to prolong the inevitable, really. But
I would say, barring another on-curve Stony Silence advantage, Bobby.
Yeah, Affinity gets in quick, man. And if that damage gets on the board, and especially with the man lands being able to continually pack, it really disrupts the Planeswalker strategies.
HootyHoo taking another look at his library, finding out is there anything in here that's not useful that I might want to board out. But I think he's okay.
Yeah, perchance the outcome would have been a little different if that Arcbound Ravager was swinging.
I don't know about that, but
Yet again,
those Planeswalkers were just...
they're a pretty good duo. They help each other out. I just hate the feeling of having no creatures on the field and then you play it and then Jace says no.
How about that
then you play a
inaugural
creature.
appearance of Jace on camera? Haven't seen him get played yet, but there he is.
It's good. I need it. We'll have to put that in the title. I gotta give respect to this amazing mat that Marino brought this time.
And this Pokemon mat, very nice.
No, it's not Pokemon.
Oh, it's my neighbor Totoro mat. Excuse me.
Oh yes. His Pokemon mat is a little lewd for camera.
Yeah, we can't actually show that one, guys. I know I had personal qualms about the Dark Magician Girl one even. So, and if I feel that way about that Dark Magician Girl mat, you don't want to see this Pokemon mat.
Hey, you never know. We get enough likes and subs, we'll do anything.
Cut his feed, please. I'm kidding, of course. I love you, Sako. So Marino, I think he likes his hand. He's got a wear and tear in there, but is that a Grafdigger's Cage?
Yeah.
Did he just play a turn 1 Grafdigger's Cage? That's very good. That's going to be very, very helpful against that Nahiri and against Snapcaster Mage.
Yowza. I wonder what he has to deal with that. Didn't look like he had any. Oh, he had the wear.
Does he have any creatures, though? He's going to take back the play. He's going to think about it one more time.
So luckily, all of the artifact hatred Marino sides in is going to help him deal with his Grafdigger's Cage if he needs to.
Yeah, he's got the wear and tear in his hand already.
And the Emrakul as well.
So he does have Emrakul, all right.
Not a card you want to see in your hand. I think the sole copy it runs.
So he's just going to run out the cranial plating here while it can't be countered. Ornithopter, Darksteel Citadel. I'm looking at his hand. He's got Land, Springleaf Drum. What is that third card? Here comes Springleaf Drum. I will pump up that cranial plating, but Ornithopter cannot swing yet. He's just going to tap it for mana off the Springleaf Drum. Maybe he's got Master of Ethereum? No, he's going to activate the Ink Moth and then hook up the cranial plating. Going to try and win with poison here, but is it going to connect? He's counting 6 poison counters. Marino is probably going to Lightning Bolt this one.
Ouchies. Is that enough to kill it? Cranial plating doesn't give it toughness, right?
No, just +1/+0 for each artifact. Gosh, if it pumped toughness too, could you imagine? That card would be banned faster than you can say Jace the Mind Sculptor.
And then unbanned with its reprint in the next modern. So either Helix or Lightning Bolt is being telegraphed here. We'll probably get to see one or the other.
Looks like Helix. No, Wear and Tear.
Oh, yeah.
That actually makes sense. Get rid of the cranial plating, only take 1 poison, pressure's off.
Interesting.
So
That's much smarter than opting to kill the manland, actually, I think.
Yes, it is. I'm sure he wished he could have saved that for cranial plating, but he did use it cranial plating. He wished he could have saved it for Grafdigger's Cage. But using it on a cranial plating, probably better in this situation.
He's going to be quite the grind.
Steel Overseer.
He's got the leak. So, but... Yeah.
But he does have 3 mana. He can use the Springleaf Drum to pay the 3rd mana. So Mana Leak not going to be effective here.
Kind of an ugly hand right now for Marino.
Unless he thinks Bobby doesn't see the play. Oh, it's going to resolve. Already
He thought
talking
about it, too.
He thought about it. But here comes Arcbound Ravager. That's going to get leaked all day. So that wasn't what the last card in his hand was. Passing the turn, Ornithopter providing mana, and that's about it. And Serum Visions, draw a card, scry 2. I think that's Island, and can't tell what that other card is. But he's thinking about him.
Oh, he's got Jason hand now.
He's got Jason hands, not able to cast him just yet. but not far off. He's got plenty of mana.
He's actually in a rough spot right now.
A little rough. Way less rough than before, because he did get rid of the cranial plate. Oh, that's Nahiri. He is thinking a lot about Nahiri here. Going to keep her and ditch the island.
Again, the double Planeswalker duo here.
And Pat the Exile is going to get rid of the Steel Overseer. So, in Marino's hand, it looks like, yeah, it was 2 lands and Jace. And he's got Nahiri coming off the scry.
Land here either.
He's looking at Nahiri again, double checking. So he can think about his line of play. Technically, he's not supposed to do that, but he knows what the card is because he did scry into it, so it's okay. Mem Knight.
I do think he missed an opportunity to grab a second blue mana there.
No, he's got a second blue mana already.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He's got a Steam Vents and a Hollow Fountain.
Oh, I meant Bobby when he got Path to Exile.
Oh, well, maybe he's only playing 1 island.
That's possible.
We speculated that he had 2, but he might actually just have 1. Anyway, he came in with both Nexuses and nothing else. Here's
Why did you
Jace.
just flip over that island? What's going on here?
Jace got a Fate Seal into what looks like an Inkmoth Nexus. Marino taking a while to think about it. Does he want to let him have another creature land? Because Bobby's been making maximal use of these creature lands every single time, and they are hard to deal with as a control deck if you do not have an instant.
Leave the card there. Says you can have that.
Of course, Path to Exile, very, very effective now that Bobby is apparently out of basics. He sees that Inkmoth Nexus, is probably happy to see it. Gonna activate both of his existing Nexuses and crack in with them and the Mem Knight. Where are they going? Are they going at Jace? Or are they going at Marino's face? They are going at Jace. Jace falls to... Oh, no. Only one of them went at Jace. The other 2 went at Marino's face.
All right, trying to keep the poison pressure on.
Might as well. If you're not finding any creatures, that might be your best chance of winning, especially if you top deck another cranial plating. Oh, but here comes Nahiri.
And here they are, reminiscent of Game 2. Both of these Planeswalkers side by side.
And he's going to pitch an Emrakul, shuffle his graveyard.
Yeah, he needed that.
Now, with Grafdigger's Cage on the table, he will not be able to use Nahiri's ability to get Emrakul. So Nahiri's ultimate not a factor here. She is just a value engine, at least until the Grafdigger's Cage is somehow removed.
Lets him take the card again with Jace there.
Remember, Nahiri's minus ability only works on tapped artifacts, so he has to find some way to tap the Grafdigger's Cage if he wants to remove it with Nahiri. I don't think he has one, but he does have other artifact hate cards, presumably. Stony Silence will not do it.
The man lands.
All of these creature lands, all of them, and Mem Knight coming in. Where are they going? I would assume the poison counters are going at Marino's face.
It's pretty risky in this situation.
It's hard to tell exactly what's going on here, because we don't have a tracker for poison. Here we're going to +2 again. Discard a redundant Nahiri. He's running more than one Nahiri. Usually you only see one Nahiri in these lists, but he's going all in on the Emrakul plan. There's a Stony Silence.
Yeah, it was a little late, but that's still going to be extremely helpful.
Yeah, that does shut off cranial plating. That's big. I think you brainstorm with Jace at some point. You can't Fate Seal forever, not when you're this low on cards.
And he continues to Fate Seal. A couple in a row there.
And by the way, yeah, he's going to put that on the bottom. By the way, Emrakul reshuffled that Wear and Tear back into Marino's deck, so he could top deck it at any moment.
Yeah, take out that cage.
I think he just found Thoughtseize. He cannot use that Springleaf Drum. Stony Silence is shutting off the Springleaf Drum, and Marino is just now pointing this out to him, so Thoughtseize uncastable. That is a completely dead top deck.
Yeah, and I don't think he even has black mana, so
no
way of really putting it out there.
He needs a Glimmer Void or a Spire of Industry to generate that black mana, and right now he has neither.
A little stunned by that play here. Gonna see if he can recalculate his plan. Probably just gonna revert back to bashing with manlands.
Seems to be working for him so far. Yeah, Darksteel Citadel can't even tap for mana. Stony Silence shuts that off too.
Oh my god, it doesn't say except for mana abilities.
It doesn't say except for mana abilities.
That's rare.
It makes Darksteel Citadel a Darksteel Relic, complete paperweight. It's the hockey puck that costs nothing and does even less.
Paths him. Gets rid of one of those manlands, and now the war of attrition is swinging in Marino's favor, and the poison counters are not going to mean as much. Yeah, another really tough spot for Affinity.
Well, as long as he's got Nahiri on the table, he can keep digging and not need to use Jace for that purpose. He can just keep fate sealing with Jace. I think
Looks
he's
like a Vault Scourge put to the bottom.
I think so. I couldn't tell what it was, but whatever it was, Marino did not want to see it.
Thoughtful stuff here from Marino. He decides to neg Nahiri, right?
Yep. Just to get rid of the Midnight. Take the pressure off.
Yeah, no damage going to be coming at either of his planeswalkers this turn.
Well, there's the Glimmer Void, so now we can be casting the Thought Seize and seize Snapcaster Mage and Spell Snare. Snapcaster Mage is just a 2-1 in this situation, so he's not afraid of it, just going to take out the Spell Snare. Activate Inkmoth Nexus. Just going to hit
Bobby
Marino.
moves up to, I think that's going to be 7 poison now. So it is.
He's got a poison tracker up on top.
Yeah.
Springleaf Drum, Snapcaster, flashing back nothing. Marino going to be playing his land here.
But is 7 poison damage going to be enough?
Does he have 7? I don't know how many poison counters he has right now.
Pretty sure it's 7. He just moved to the first notch of the second die.
Yeah, I didn't realize he already had a bronze die on there. So Marino out of cards now, but he does have the Celestial Colonnade up to block.
The useless Citadel off the top.
So as long as he's got the Colonnade, he can catch and kill that Inkmoth Nexus.
We'll see if Bobby sees it.
I don't think he sees it.
Oh, he warns him. What a nice guy.
Gonna be friendly, like, hey, by the way, I can block either of those Nexuses. You might not want to swing. No, he's coming in. He's not afraid. Celestial Colonnade going to be activated here. Going to take out the Poisonous Nexus. He's totally fine with it shrinking to a 3/3 as long as the Inkmoth is off the table.
Yeah, one gets through to chip on Jace for just a moment.
I'm perplexed by that play, but it looks like the pressure is off and Marino might have this game on lock. He can swing for 5 every turn. And right now he's explaining that the Negwa counter stays even as Celestial Colonnade deactivates.
That's awesome. Man, Colonnade's a heck of a card, man.
Oh,
Amazing.
yes. Sarah Angel stapled to a land. He's going to find another land here. Probably going to pitch it to Nahiri. Yeah, at this point, doesn't even care about that Grafdigger's Cage. He's got damage on board. I think he just locked down with Jace. Bobby has no hand either, so as long as Bobby doesn't find a way to dig himself out of this, Jace could just win the game before combat damage even becomes relevant. I think you just leave the colony on defense.
Man, are we going to see a Jace ultimate win this one?
Probably. Bobby just could not find enough offense. Yeah, leave it on top. That's usually a bad sign. Snapcaster going to get in for some chip damage. Bobby opting not to block with that Ornithopter. Yeah, that's cranial plating. That's completely shut down by the Stony Silence. No wonder he was okay with it.
You can have that. And he shows him the spell snare. Says, why don't you cast it?
No, the spell snare's already in the grave. It got taken away with the Thoughtseize.
Oh, he just flipped. He showed the other one in hand.
Oh, another one? Really?
He probably would cheekily counter that.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at that side of the screen, so I didn't see it. He's just...
Desperation, just trying to see.
He's just doing it for fun at this point. I think he's already given up. Just looking at his body language. Just wants to see this Jace go off again.
Snap. Is Marino playing with his food?
Slapcaster Mage.
So pluses up is Nahiri.
Does he discard or does he like what his hand is? I think he just likes it. Sideboard cards coming through for Anthony Marino.
Yeah, seriously. Stony
Oh, he's going
Silence.
to exile his own Stony Silence. Is he playing with his food again?
He's being a jokester, this guy.
Because he has the
so
spell
he's
snare in
ulting
hand,
with
he does not
Jace.
care about the cranial plating.
Yeah.
And there's the Jace ultimate. Put that cranial plating back on top of your library.
Passes turn, says, you got one turn, try it.
Nope.
Spell snare.
That is spell snare.
Pretty good, Marino.
That's game.
Oh, and he's going to play it out. Whoa.
Defiantly swinging with that Ornithopter, sending a message, knowing that Marino can't block. I'm going to mana leak that attack. That's game. Anthony Marino taking it 2-1.
Oh, man. GG's to all. Seeing Jace the Mind Sculptor really do some work in the Jeskai build.
We saw him ultimate. Finally happened.
It finally happened. It's possible, everyone. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Well, thanks for joining us at another round of Modern MTG Wednesdays here at NeverBoard. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll have some more standard content coming your way very soon, so please tune in, like, and subscribe.
Peace out, everybody.